Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. Excuse me. I'm excited yet again because I have another amazing guest who says that spiritual resurrection is her mission. And she is a sacred heart shaman, healing deep wounds of the soul so that you can honor and listen to your own sacred intuition from within and cherish that sacred temple you walk in. Without further ado, I introduce to you Jen Heartfire.
Hi, everybody.
Yes,
Woo!
yes, yes, yes. And I just want to say, how are you doing today, Jen?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I'm blessed. I have three amazing children, two who are living with me. I'm really proud of them. Um, we have an amazing, I'm not very religious, I'm more spiritual, but we have an
Right.
amazing church that we go to where I feel the Holy Spirit is just so high there. Like I get my downloads there, I get my messages, I get to feel loved by community and it can be very challenging sometimes, because God has me speak as if I'm a shaman and some Christians or different religions can kind of what's that? you know.
Right, right, right. And I totally resonate with that. But before I even go any further, I just want to say that I believe that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to decide that you want to spend some of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you for being here at this
Oh, thank
present moment.
you. I am
Yes.
very cherished to be here and I'm really excited and honored that you invited me.
Yes. So speaking of, you know, spirituality, give us a little just insight, a little peek in on, your journey and, spiritual, church, shaman. Just give us a little insight on all of that. We want to hear about it all, you know?
So, yeah, I wrote a book on it and it's been very introspective for me to even read what I'm writing. Um,
Let me pause you right there.
yeah,
What is the name of the book? What is the book entitled? It's written and published already?
it's not published. I
Oh,
just,
okay. Well, then you can keep a secret
it's,
then. It's up to you if you want to share.
yeah, I'll share the name of my book. Let me look it up real quick.
And when can
It's
we?
called Being Radically Conscious, The Dawning of a New Era.
Wow, being radically conscious, the dawning of a new era. Sounds absolutely amazing. And do you have any speculation as to when we might get this? This book might be made available.
So I'm editing it right
Oh,
now, and
okay.
I'm working with a new person, which I'm really excited about. I believe that, spirit, universe, God aligned it up exactly when it was supposed to happen, as it's
Absolutely.
extremely informational. And as we all know, we're walking into 5D and beyond world. And we're also at the book of Revelations in the Bible where things are shifting dramatically
Mhm.
on the planet, but it can be misinterpreted a little bit.
Right, right. Yeah, it's all perspective and you
Yes.
know, not to cut you off at all, but you just inspired me to say this. It's all perspective, and depending on, you know, how we've been programmed, indoctrinated, what we've been around, um, things can be scary, that if we're not
Yeah.
used to it or if we're not open to, to other,
Change.
yeah, perspectives, other,
Yeah.
ideas, yes. So yes, go ahead and yeah, fill us in on some of your
So
steps and yes.
about 20, I think it was about 2014, my youngest was 2. I have 3 kids, they're all 5 years apart.
Right.
I was in my 10th year of my on and off relationship marriage,
Mm,
and
okay.
he's the father of my younger 2 kids. I was starting to spin out like a lot, like depression, weird thoughts of suicide, staying up all night watching Supernatural, Medium, Ghost Whisper. Um,
Mm,
and what I realized was that all my pregnancies had triggered trauma, sexual abuse
wow.
that I experienced when I was
Wow.
younger, and it was all like flaming through my body.
Wow.
And I was also experiencing my mother's trauma that she hadn't cleared through her body or timeline. And then I'm feeling all my kids spazzing out because
Mm,
they're going through an awakening. This was about 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
right.
Um, because I was spinning out for about 2 years and going, what is going on with me? Like, why am I acting this way? You know, um, Part of me wants to run into the spiritual world and be in nature and naked in woods. And then the other part of me is like, get your degree and, become a doctor and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm like, I feel like I'm 2 people. What's going
Absolutely.
on? And I
Yes.
couldn't decide, is it my husband? Do I need to run away? Do I need to throw the kids in the minivan and just leave? Hey, sweetheart. Um, and so that is when I actually sought out my first shamanic teacher, Mark
Mm.
Spring Cook in San Diego. And I worked with her for about 5 years. I apprenticed with her for
What
3 years.
what is her name again?
Mara Claire Spring Cook.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay.
She has a beautiful tribe. She's a beautiful teacher. I apprenticed her. I co taught classes, goddess circles, drum
Mm,
circles with her. But something wasn't quite right with my own life. And
okay.
that's when I took a turn. I decided that first year when I was with her, I decided to leave my husband. And that
Mm,
was a huge shift for me because I
wow.
was feeling him too empathically.
Mm,
He wasn't willing to make sacrifices and changes to spiritually evolve. And I did
right.
want to.
Right.
I had a lot of weird anger stuff coming up. I didn't understand what was going on. I asked him to get involved with me, but he grew up Mormon. So that was, his brain was like splitting in half, thinking that
Splitting
I
it
am
half.
basically, thinking that I'm bad or I'm evil because of
Right.
what he'd been
He was
indoctrinated.
torn. Yeah, torn.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So actually, I started evolving 10 times faster when I left him. I lost a ton of weight. My anxiety dissipated.
Mm,
I started running 2 businesses and, healing people. And so I started spiritually evolving really, really quickly because of that choice. It
wow.
was really challenging because, yeah, I don't want to be a single mom with 3 kids.
Right.
Um,
Probably scary,
yeah, I had
Uncharted
already,
uncharted territory can be scary, but and I apologize interrupting you, but just to elaborate on that, just anytime in your life when you make a decision like that, especially when you're in your comfort zone. And when I say comfort zone, you could be comfortable with the discomfort that you're in because it's
yeah,
at least it's familiar. So
yeah,
anytime you get out of that familiarity and you're venturing off, it can be scary.
yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
had
Jen.
just finished my bachelor's degree online in alternative health.
Right.
And I was a stay-at-home mom, uh, and just, you know, being involved with my kids' schools and their programs and, volunteering at their schools. So, yeah, it was a huge shift to jump into my own apartment, start a
Wow.
business, start another business, and continue
Wow.
my shamanic training. Being a single parent, I started in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids, me in one room, and then renting
Mm,
the other room out. And within
mm,
6 months, I had evolved out of that. It was like boom, boom, boom. I just kept like building myself up. But I really had to trust spirit, like you're saying,
Yes.
like
Yes.
I'm not happy, I'm not comfortable, I'm spinning out. I don't know
Mm,
why. I have to make a change.
mm,
And
right.
uh, it was well worth it. My guides really, they showed me a lot deeper to trust myself, to trust my
Right.
own intuition.
Right.
Um, when I left San Diego, my kids went through counseling, and I went through counseling with them because of the divorce. And I went through
Right.
custody battles. I ended
Mm,
up winning. Um, we moved around quite a bit, which made a little bit of instability for my family, but
right.
Holy Spirit was guiding me and showing me that there were deeper things going on. It wasn't just this ancestral um, clearing that I was doing. I was being stalked by an ex partner, sending mass negativity to me for 20 years,
Wow.
trying to spin me out because he was upset that I left him. It was insane.
A lot
Uh,
going on.
yeah, and I
Wow.
discovered 5 generations of curses on my mom's side,
Mm,
and then 3 generations of curses on my birth father's side. And when I say generational curses, that can be anything from molestation, rape,
right.
murder,
Right. Unresolved. Yeah.
unresolved
Trauma, all that.
trauma, karma,
No, I
addiction.
get it. Karma. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
all these using magic in a bad way where you're
Right.
harming others
Right.
creates a life altering effect for the next generation that they have to move through.
Right.
And so I had to move through all of that. And I really found myself over the last 3 years. That's when my business evolved.
Right.
During COVID, we left Hawaii and we traveled to Washington, and then we traveled to Florida. And my guide said, invest 100% in your business. Like you're meant to jump back into it 100% because I was
Mm,
teaching in Hawaii.
right.
And they said, it's time, it's time. People need to get woken up. You're ready, you're ready, you're ready. And I stopped paying rent, and I ended up getting COVID relief for 10 months. My guides were guiding me the entire time. They're like, invest in healing yourself and invest into fixing your business and involving yourself and um, sharing your gift. And so my gift became stronger and stronger and stronger as I kept moving through it. Um, I was doing soul retrievals. I was doing trauma release through my body, where I would shake the person's trauma out of them through my own body.
Wow.
People have been beaten a lot of their life. They're holding that pattern in their body.
Right. Right.
And so over the years, it evolved to where I became the transmitter
Hmm.
for them. And now it's evolved so much that I don't even have to go into the astral space, that deep meditative shamanic space, to do a soul retrieval. I can just talk to the person, let them release, and then hold parts of their body like I'm doing Reiki and move the soul parts back into the heart.
Wow.
And then
You
I'm
know,
hugging them and just letting them cry and letting them feel safe, because a lot of it is also that mental thing that our
right.
parents have done to us, like, you're a loser, you don't belong, why you dress
Right.
like that, oh, you got your
Right.
back,
Right.
all that stuff like makes our brains scrambled, where we think we don't
Hmm.
deserve any
Right.
bit of love.
Right.
And then,
Right. I just had, let me elaborate and I want you to continue because I'm so enjoying just listening to your story and listening to you just express yourself and just uh and share with us your journey. But I just had to add, I don't have to, but I would just like to add uh my assessment, my perspective and summary of everything that you're talking about right now. It's just amazing that you went through so much, and please don't take this the wrong way, but you were meant to go through all that so that you can be this person that helps other people resolve all these negative things and embody that and be able to shake it off because you like built up a tolerance, so to speak, or familiarity with all this trauma because you went through it yourself. That's just what I'm seeing right now. And
That's exactly what it is because I grew up with molestation,
right,
beatings, like, mental confusion,
right,
you know, criticism, like perfectionism,
right,
abandonment. I wasn't really hugged or comforted as a child. I
right.
spent a lot of times talking to myself, going on walks.
I still
I
do
didn't
that.
even yeah, I didn't even realize that
Yeah,
I was already connecting to angels when I was young. I just
right,
thought that I was, trying to feel safer in my body.
right,
And
right,
going through my own healing process was
right.
like, oh, I was displaced.
Mm,
My soul parts were all over the place. I have very fragmented memories from 10 and below because
mm,
there was so much trauma,
right,
but I'm able to help people piece together their lives. I'm meeting men and women who were sexually or physically traumatized
right,
and they don't even remember because the same thing happened to them. But I can tap in, I hear their subconscious, I
right,
hear their guides, their ancestors. I hear their souls screaming like, "Save me, save me."
right.
And it's really painful to listen to, but it's also like, wow, I was there. I was there. Like I know what that feels like. My last client, she laid on my bed and I just held her until she felt safe to cry. She
Mm,
said she never felt safe to cry to how much she was criticized. 65-year-old woman.
wow.
Um,
And that's
I
amazing.
felt like this is awesome. Like she feels so safe, and I was like, "You're a miracle. It's a miracle to be alive. It's a miracle
Yes.
to have this body." And we forget that.
Yeah, that's amazing that you're providing this safe space for people to uh, be able to eradicate and share and um, just get therapy for people and just vent and just everything. And that's
Yeah,
just
and a
amazing
lot of
because go ahead.
a lot of people, I had this one client, a few clients actually, who were like strippers or escorts
Right.
and they were confused about, what was going on in their home or with their spouses or partners. And I'm like, you are going against God's wishes for your life and you're inviting this darker, satanic, demonic energy and entities into your body, into your
Mm,
life, or through these men who are coming to stare at you.
right.
And you're bringing that energy
The
home.
energy.
Yeah,
Yes.
the energy or the spiritual entities that
Entity.
are attached to those people, and
Mm,
then your family is spinning out, your spouse or
mm.
your children. I'm like, so now do you kind of understand? And then I'm like, I have to drain all the sexual energy out of your sacral chakra and fix your heart because you're attracting trauma because you were traumatized. And
Wow.
so you want to feel safe by getting this attention that you need and deserve, but you're getting it in the wrong
In the
way.
wrong way. Yeah. In a
Yeah, and then
toxic
you're
environment.
creating yeah, you're creating more toxicity at home, and then you're wondering why everything's not working. Everything's spinning out. I'm like, "Well, you're inviting this
Wow.
to come in. You may not think so. You're spinning out because it's, I need money. I need to support my kids. I need to support my family. But you got to think about what's really going on.
Yeah. At what expense? The
At
expense
what
of
expense?
at the expense of your soul, the expense
Yeah.
of your energy, the expense of your mental, yeah, your expense of your family. Yes. So that is amazing how you are
And doing it to these men who don't understand that they're there because they're also traumatized
right.
and they're seeking
Never
that
thought of it that
motherly
way.
love, right? They need that woman motherly love because they were also traumatized.
Mm,
Like, you don't understand. There's so many different strings that are going on right now. But if
wow.
you yourself want to change, I'm going to guide you out of it.
Wow. No, I just, you know, I just resonate that as you're speaking, you can just tell that it's just um well, I'm looking for the right word. That it's just not something. I'm just going to explain it simply. It's not something that you're just blurting out. It's not a sales pitch. It sounds like you're just like you're really connected and and just really expressing, you know, everything. I don't know how to say it. It's just it sounds just you're very passionate.
Oh,
And
thank
it's
you.
taken a while. It's taking this long. Uh, Rocky journey for you to get to this point right here, and you know it, and it that
Yeah,
you yeah. Go ahead.
people can even be accidentally traumatized. I had a male a couple years ago whose father used a suppository on him.
Mm,
And so his soul became gay and then
oh,
contracted herpes because he
right,
felt unsafe to receive sex in a safe way. And he had like this porn addiction. And it was all because of this touch as an infant. And
right,
he was like, I know in my mind, my dad wasn't trying to hurt me. And
right.
I'm like, I know that I have to extract this energy from your body
Body.
because your child infant body felt traumatized. Like, why
Mm,
is he touching me this way? What is this?
wow.
What's going on? And so then it's like, well, I think I'm supposed to have sex this way. I think this is safe. It's so weird how our brain and our body can connect in a way that's like later on brings more trauma.
Right.
Like going, why did I even think that that was better to do? Like, I don't,
And that's amazing to me how you are connecting the dots to these
yeah.
things. You know, wow.
Well,
And
our body holds memory.
memories, yes. The imprint of memories and traumas and this and that. And even when we can't mentally um consciously remember it's there. And that's amazing how you draw that out, even things that they
Yeah.
forgot. They don't understand why that they're acting a certain way. Like you mentioned, you didn't know why at first why you had this connection with this anger, and then as you started to dive into it, you realize why. And that's important because that's the only way you're going to be able to work on it, you know.
Yeah, I had a lot, when you say coming into your leaving, being a mother of three kids, I went through a lot of this um hesitation, a lot of fear. And I
Right.
realized my mom had been married three times, two kids with two different dads.
Mm,
Each marriage was very traumatizing.
right.
Um, and physically traumatizing or like cheating or my her first husband was very physically abusive. My father cheated a lot and one woman used witchcraft on my mom. And then
Oh.
the third partner was a sexual predator and his brother, and his son. And so she traveled all that trauma into a new relationship because she didn't heal in between each partner. And
Mm-mm.
then, so
Yes.
when I left my marriage, I had so much fear, and it was like, I have to leave the security. That's what my mom stayed in her last marriage because by then it was like, well, I tried and I tried and I tried, and it's too hard now. And so she
Right.
stayed for 20 years or 30 years, even though she was miserable for the last 20
Right.
years.
Right.
And that was my biggest transition, was realizing I don't have to stay
No.
and suffer,
Nope.
but I had to go through a lot of criticism from her, like, why didn't you stay? And what's wrong with you?
Right.
And who's
Right.
ever going to love you with three kids? And it was like,
Right. Right.
yeah,
There's
but
so
look
many, so many, so much pessimism and opposing forces, if you will, to
yeah,
stop you from evolving and really getting,
evolving.
yes, and getting what
Exactly.
you need. And it can come, you know, from those that we care about unintentionally.
Yes,
They're just basically she was just basically sharing from her perspective, from what she
exactly.
knows. She wasn't trying. I don't think that she went over something in her mind and said, "Let me try to stifle her growth. Let me try to damage her." No, she was sharing,
She
giving
was
you,
sharing,
yeah,
and it was my job to teach her how to evolve. It was like,
right,
oh, so I should
right.
have
Like,
stayed and
no, this is
suffered.
not right thinking
Yeah,
to stay in this toxic, in this traumatizing environment. No, no
yeah,
matter what. No.
yeah.
Yes. So
So
that's amazing.
it's been quite an interesting journey. My mother is finally starting to. She doesn't quite understand the gifts.
Right.
I
Right.
think she could be extremely gifted herself, but
Right.
she's scared of the spirit world.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I have a lot of siblings too, and it can be scary if you don't know how to create boundaries with your ancestors or guides or angels or ascended masters or whoever's coming in, because I also have clients that come in and I'm ascending them. I ascend everybody, but
Okay.
some clients specifically want to become more psychic or tuned to mediumship, or but
Right.
every client that comes to me is supposed to be on a spiritual journey. Like they are supposed to
Right.
be waking up to that and then serving that purpose to others, because we all need to be waking up more.
Right.
And we've been hiding these gifts because it's not normal, right? It's not
Right.
normal. We're not supposed to talk to dead people or spirits or angels. That's against the rules of society or whatever. But actually, this is more normal. It
Right.
is.
We
We're
just been
more.
taught. It's been hidden. We've
Yeah.
been taught. We've been reprogrammed that it's not. Our true powers have been suppressed. So yeah, it's a lot. And like you said, this is a time of waking up, and
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it, especially I'm able to see it in real time often, just even through this podcast, the people that I attract into my experience, and what I always take it every encounter I have with this podcast, and you are no exception, that it's meant to be, and you're meant to share with me what I need to learn for my
Oh,
evolution. So
thank
no,
you.
this is not only just for showcase, but this is part of my uh, passion and of who I am. Whether I get one viewer or 1,000 viewers or 1,000,000 viewers, I'm going to continue doing this because this is enhancing my life, my spiritual growth, my mental growth, my emotional growth, just engaging in these dialogues and attracting what I know is on purpose, is meant to be the people that join in with me. And I know that now. It's not, oh, I think, I know. I know, because it's my
You're
intuition tells me.
vibrating at a way that's evolving, and you're pulling in evolved souls so
There
that
you go.
more people can evolve, because that's, so many people are still stuck in the very three-dimensional reality where it's the 9 to 5 job. We
Thank you.
don't talk to ghosts or ancestors or any of that. We don't
Thank
need
you.
to watch what we're doing. We don't need to live by natural law or God's law.
Right.
But we do actually, you know um God, the Holy Spirit is always guiding us. We're
Right.
always being guided.
Right.
But like you said, we've been brainwashed. We've
Right.
been
Right. No,
taught a different way. We've been taught to keep quiet, is what it
right.
is. We've been
And
taught,
not ask questions and not
and not,
seek and
yeah,
not seek.
yeah,
Just you're told this, don't question it,
yeah.
and that's it.
And I believe that was actually the first part of my journey, is that I started thinking my family was crazy. And I was like,
Wow.
God,
Yes.
how did I end up in this family? What's going on?
Yeah. Why
Like,
did I attract this family?
yes. And, I really started questioning God and what's going on, and cancer and all these different things at a very young age, 10 to 15 years old. And what I realized, like you said, is I had to go through all these experiences from my past lives or whatever it is, just so that I could evolve myself and evolve other people.
Right.
Um,
No
and
matter how
believe me,
messy it seems.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there were
No matter
times
how messy it seems, that's what
I'd
you
be crying. I was bawling like,
that was your
God,
path.
why? God,
That was
why?
your path.
Yeah,
Yes. To lead you to who you are now at this present moment and who you are becoming. We are always in the stage of becoming.
exactly. Exactly. And
Yes.
the world is shifting so fast, as we know, with
Right.
these solar flares,
Right.
um, the
Right.
outside
Energy.
influences on energy.
Right.
Where people who have not healed their traumas are starting to spin out so bad
Mhm.
now that they are losing their mind. You
Right.
know, they're starting to not be okay. And that's basically what started happening to me about 11, 12 years ago. But
Right.
I didn't understand that I was way ahead of the curve.
Mm.
I just thought I was losing my mind.
Right.
Um, well, now people who have all this unresolved stuff, it's coming to the surface and they
Right.
can't, they can't control it.
Right.
You know, the lady that I saw, the 65-year-old woman, she was like, my mind is spinning out. I can't make it stop. And I only feel safe at home anymore.
Right.
And 2 days later, she texted me and said, I'm finally smiling again. Like, I'm finally feeling grateful and I'm finally feeling happy. And her son had committed suicide 11 months back. But
Yes.
that was just the biggest triggering point to
Right.
fix all these other things. It was like, you
Things.
don't
Right.
even realize you have so much other stuff under it. It was just that push over the edge that made you seek answers.
Yes, that's amazing, Jen. And thank you. We're down to about 3 minutes now. So before we go, can you share with us while we're here some links that people can find you?
So my website is jenheartfire.com. On
Jen
Facebook
Hart.
and Instagram, I'm also under Jen Heartfire. My phone number is public. My email is public. I'm open, I'm very open with my clients. I do free consultations. When we do work together, I keep the window open for that period of time to text, call, or anything because you are going to be, releasing so much old that you might feel a little crazy, but I teach you how to reparent that child's soul so that it can emotionally grow up and feel safe to feel all its feelings. I've had men clients where I'm like, you have to give yourself permission to throw a temper tantrum. Like,
Right.
go do it in the garage, like, scream your
Right.
head off or
Yeah.
something.
Bang on something. Yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't allowed to feel emotion.
Right.
And if you're not allowed to feel, you start to hold everything in and then you blow up or you separate from people, right?
Amazing.
So I help people to heal those child parts, those traumatic lost parts that weren't heard, and I help them evolve in the world as the spiritual beings that they're supposed to be.
Yes. Amazing. And thank you very much, Jen Heartfire, for being here today again. And thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Share this amazing segment, this amazing message. Help the podcast grow, the platform grow, and help elevate the planet. Amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Also,
you for
hit
having me.
the Enlighten Empowered Evolve website as well, 333empower.com. Thank you very much. See you soon. Enlighten Empowered Evolve. Love and appreciation to everyone.
Mwah.